Hi, this is BoBTV. I left the dryer running while I filmed a video.
My gear! These are the pedals I use when I want to jam at home and use a real guitar cab, rather than plug into my Hackintosh or Line 6 pedal board. I also use this pedal board when I don't want to fire up the 5150 because I have a lot more control over the volume and tone that way. I have everything I need here, including a 100 watt power amp. Let's start with the board and paddleboard. I said paddleboard. This is a 16 by 5 inch aluminium rectangle with Velcro on the top. Mine has no branding on it, but they're currently sold under the name
Mr. Power
on Amazon. I'll link to that one below. I got mine without the carry bag for under 30 bucks. Now first in line we have a Joyo Vintage Overdrive. This is a $40 tube screamer knockoff from Amazon. For metal players, we typically put the tube screamer in front of the amplifier to do a few things. 1. Overload the preamp with a volume boost, giving it a dirtier sound without having to turn up the gain. 2. Tighten the sound by cutting bass. 3. Make the guitars cut more by boosting the mids. In another video, I'll show you a couple other pedals I use to boost the amp and change the tone dramatically. Next is the Mooer 15 Brown Sound. This is the 5150 preamp sound in a pedal. No, really, I'm serious. No, really, I'm serious! I got this for about 140 bucks from Music Express online. Mooer makes a ton of different pedals that imitate big name amplifiers, and I think the sound is really close. Dryer's done. Obviously it's not a tube amp, but I'm really happy with it, and there are a bunch more expensive pedals that do the same thing. A lot of metal guitar players will put an equalizer pedal between the preamp and the power amp. This allows them to fine-tune the sound. I've done that here as well with the Danelectro Fish and Chips EQ pedal. No, seriously, that's what it's called.
Seriously.
This is a cheap, awesome 7-band EQ pedal. I've made some cuts and boosts to the frequencies as you can see here. These are about 40 bucks. Many metal guitar players will also throw a nose gate in between. Will also throw a noise gate in between the preamp and power amp to kill the hiss and hum of their amp. Me too! This is the TC Electronic Iron Curtain. Got this for about 75 bucks, and while it's not as good as the ISP decimator I showed you in my live rig, it's a lot cheaper, and it does a good job. Now moving on to the 100 watt power amp. This is a $5 100 watt mono power amp from eBay. I bought 5 of them at the time, thinking they were just going to be garbage. But this little guy's been working really well for powering my 412 cab here at home. Lastly, I have 2 clip-on tuners. One is the Snark Super Tight. And the other is made by Didario. They both work great, and they're about 20 bucks or so. I know a few musicians that use the Snark exclusively live, and love it. Hi. My tech! I thought it might be interesting to show the 2 integral bits of tech that I use to make these silly videos for you. For sound, the Blue Yeti USB microphone. I checked my Amazon orders and I bought this in 2011 for 115 bucks. There are over 150 now. Yay! And I think this is an incredible mic. I've used it in my studio. I've recorded numerous acoustic guitars, all sorts of singing and screaming and guttural vocals, and I use it for this. C'est incroyable! For video, it's the GoPro Session. Bought this a year ago on Amazon for 120 bucks. I love how small it is, and how it automatically starts recording as soon as you hit the power button. I just wish it would sync to your phone a little easier. My music! Since I was listening to Author and Punisher while I wrote this episode, I figured I'd talk about him a little. Author and Punisher is an industrial doom and drone metal, one-man band utilizing primarily custom fabricated machines and controllers. Yeah, so somehow I came across a Vice video talking about this guy and how he builds his own drum machine controllers and fuzz guitars, sound generators, and warp engines to create industrial doom. And I was like, what the f***? And then I found a 45-minute live set from Berlin, and I was like, yeah, the f***. Now, this is not my normal kind of music, but it's awesome. You'll have to check out the links below to hear for yourself.
I will destroy you.
My channels! And now for something completely not the same as before. ChrisFix. I don't know a hell of a lot about fixing cars, which is ironic because both my parents were mechanics early on. Mr. Fix shows you how to save a ton of money by doing the scary repairs yourself with common hand tools, like the basic stuff you get on sale at Canadian Tire. Alright, show's over. Get the f*** out of here. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, stay buried.